Space Engineers has been one of the most interesting rides of my gaming and YouTubing career, releasing on Steam with next to nothing in the way of mechanics except for what was set on the box, basically. Build and maintain spaceships and stations. From that small goal, it received update after update, adding weapons, tools, survival elements, planets. Say what you will, the game has grown immensely from that original tagline. Now, I've got over 2,000 hours logged into SC, and the majority of that time has been played in multiplayer. Not the best multiplayer, issues of rubber banding and general jankery, Lord Clang deciding that whatever I've been working on for the last 2 hours needs to be snapped from its mount and tossed 16 or 17 kilometers away, most likely into or out of orbit. We've heard Keen tell us that there's a major Space Engineers update patch coming for some time, and I've had the opportunity to jump in and test various builds as they've released them to public test servers. And for the most part, they've been okay. As of last night's most recent test build, running right now, actually, you guys can test it out if you like, has been potentially the most impressive patch that we've seen in Space Engineers yet. Greater than planets and greater than the graphics overhaul. The footage that you're seeing in the background isn't scripted Space Engineers trailer footage. This is actual multiplayer footage from a 32-player server. Population 32 out of 32. I have to say that again. 32 players in a single server, all building, maintaining, and breaking stuff. Some on Mars, some on Earth, some in deep space on asteroids. It's insane. You guys and gals know the pain that Tex and myself deal with on Sundays, dropping sim speed, slow motion spacewalks on occasion. And yes, we're playing on a very modded save or server, but there's a reason that we don't attempt greater numbers of players for anything but the shortest of events. And that's basically sim speed, and rubber banding would make it just impossible to have fun. It'd just be a pain. Now, during my test time, I flew 70 kilometers in a landing ship without issue, made contact with a faction that I eventually joined. So smooth. Let's go ahead and turn her around so that the ramp is a little bit more level off. There we go. And shutting her down. See all the people down there. Howdy, howdy. Are they taking my ship apart? Are they? Hello, everybody. Are you guys? I landed in the wrong neighborhood. What are you doing to my ship?
Oh, don't worry. That's just standard procedure around here.
We just...
Yeah, we're searching for hidden merchandise.
I even requested a landing, landed my ship there, and then helped build and strip a number of vehicles for parts. For the first 2 hours of playing last night, it was perfect. Sim speed felt 1.0 and very responsive. We did eventually run into an issue later on that evening. Looking at our Shift F11 screen, we could see that the server CPU usage had jumped 130%. We started having rubber banding. The game was generally unplayable for about 15 minutes, and then the servers crashed or performed an automated restart. After everything was back up and running, we all logged back in and everything was fine again. Jumping on about 12 hours later, actually this morning, I found a new faction to join. It was actually Splitseed, another YouTuber that I highly recommend you check out his stuff. He does a lot of general guides, and he has his own survival series where he has yet to die, impressively enough. Anyways, I joined up with him. They were building a mobile rover base. We loaded up into his super shady, questionable shuttlecraft, at least that's what he called it, and we shot up into orbit, leaving for their faction's asteroid base to go pick up some cobalt so we could finish up the thrusters that we were building on the rover. I flew his, I say in quotations, shuttle, and it was totally responsive. In earlier versions of the multiplayer patches that we've tried, things have felt very floaty and not very good. In a very general sense. This was great. This was one-for-one perfect sim speed like playing on a single-player server. Here we are, flying from Mars up to a space station in orbit, both with separate crews building and working on things, while there are other factions floating around out there building and tearing down their own stuff in the world space. And all of it was running great. We loaded up on Cobalt and then shot ourselves back toward Mars. It was really surreal, though, knowing that there were so many other players in the world for the first time in a long time. Space Engineers didn't feel empty or hollow. I knew there were other things going on that weren't just scripts running in the background. Very impressive. So what does this mean? Well, for starters, I'm pumped. I'm hyped for the future of Space Engineers, and I haven't been able to say that in a very long time. If we can get stable multiplayer with even just 32 players, maybe even more. The things this community will be able to do are gonna add thousands of more hours to this game for me. While testing, players couldn't help but think and talk about the possibilities of having fully crewed battleships and fighter wings and races and big community night build events. All kinds of stuff, really. I'm going to keep testing. A full video of the new features that are coming out with this patch will come out soon as we get a solid list of them. But keep in mind, this is still a test build, and there'll be more updates and things are going to change. The test build right now is still available, and I'm told it'll be available for the rest of the week. So if you guys want to see for yourself, just head on over to the Steam news page, and it'll give you the details on how to get into the opt-in beta that you can test out yourself. Well, guys, I'm super pumped to see where Space Engineers goes from here. If we can have this kind of stability, it's gonna be amazing, and I can't wait to play with you guys someday. Maybe we'll have an official XP Gamers server. We used to talk about these features the first couple of years of Space Engineers development, where what can the game be like as it expands, as we get more players into it. And I stopped talking like that, actually, after the last maybe year or two, due to the lack of development on multiplayer, and yet here we are. I'm really excited. I'm actually super pumped. Hopefully this is where the future's going. All right, guys, you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one. Later, everybody. Oh, he's almost got his truck up and operational, too.
Special drive that harnesses the power
Nice.
of flying.